Let me hear you say ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da. Crazy I just think of love, just what I've been dreaming of. I can never figure out, oh, how you do the things you do. That's why I'm so in love with you. I love the way you make me smile. Boy, you give me butterflies. And when I look into your eyes, I'll see the future, me and you. That's why I wrote this song for you. Just want you to know what I think of you. L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. Baby, you've got what it takes to make your girl say L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. If I met you in another life and you asked me to be your wife, with grace and a smile I say, yeah, always now and forever. You be my one and only lover. Cause I like the way you make me smile. Boy, you give me butterflies. And when I look into your eyes, I'll see the future, me and you. That's why I wrote this song for you. Just want you to know what I think of you. L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. Baby, you've got what it takes to make your girl say L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. Ba-ba-ba-da-ba-ba, ba-ba-ba-da-ba-ba, ba-ba-ba-da.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, men and women. Welcome to Attorney Commander J.R. Glapohkpa Chesson talk show. Let's take a break and Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Attorney Commander J.R. Glapohkpa Chesson talk show. Today, I'm at Kebe's African restaurant on the other side of Providence. And she is right here. Please introduce yourself.
My name is Kebe McCann.
Now, Kebe has been here for a while, and this is one of our Liberian restaurants. So, Kebe, tell us how long you've been in this spot and why you decided to get into business.
I've been in this spot for 14 years now. I decided to open this restaurant because of helping people, going out and feeding the homeless, and we need a place where the food be cooked. And I opened this restaurant. Since then, I'm still at the same place, 850 Admiral Street.
So how has the community responded to your effort?
Well, the community have responded greatly to my efforts. I do successful feed the homeless, and people has embraced the business, and it led me to move forward to Liberia to open the orphanage for children in Liberia.
Wow, you have an
All
orphanage?
from this restaurant.
You kidding me?
And because of the customer has been very nice to me and loyal to me, I was able to go to Liberia 3 weeks ago and open an orphanage in my late mother's name, Eugenia Bright,
Wow. Where's the orphanage?
in New Georgia, Liberia, Liberia.
Wow. So what message do you have for your customers?
Well, my customers are very loyal to me, and they are very faithful. They always help me when we're doing the backpack giveaway for children every year, which will soon be coming down end of the month. And then we give the food away, the turkey and chicken in November. And because of the customer, all the tips they leave and all the encouragement help me to promote this business and do what I'm doing moving forward. So I love my customers, I love my neighbors, and I love everybody in general.
We thank you very much for your efforts.
Thank you, and God bless you too.
Thank you too. Let the people see the delicious food you're fixing
Okay,
here.
go ahead.
Okay, thank you.
I would waste it all for you.
Good morning. I love that song. I will waste it all for you. Let me play it one more time.
I would waste it all for you.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. My topics for this morning are 1. Protests. Protests. Protests for better and honest government in Liberia. Now. 2. Buduburam refugee camp Liberian community in Ghana celebrates Liberia's Flag Day. So that's my topic for today. Let me take a short break again, and I'll be back for us to carry on. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Tony Commander J.R. Glapohkpa Chesson. I'm at Flames, the Jamaican restaurant in Providence, Rhode Island. I'm here with the proprietor. Ma'am, could you kindly tell us your name and how long this business has been here?
My name is Sophia, and this business has been here for 6 years.
What kind of support have you received from the community?
Great support. We receive great support from the community.
And especially the African community?
The African, the Spanish, and then we're close to the hospital, so there's a lot of people that come by from the hospital. All different culture.
Oh, that's
Everybody
nice.
want to try something new.
Yes, I just took a shot of some of your food here. It seems very delicious. I've had some of them too, some of your meal.
Yeah.
What message do you have for your customers?
They could come anytime. Come anytime. We treat our customer with great respect.
Thank you very much, Sophie.
You're welcome.
And I hope you have good luck here as long as you're here.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good day.
You too, dear. Thanks.
Protest for better government, better and honest government in Liberia now. You know, since July 26th, we've been watching events unfold in our country daily. We came from the violent situation to the sanctioning of government officials. Now we see that people go in the streets and protesting, and the government isn't doing anything about it. So after years of suppressing protesters, beating them up, jailing them, we have come to the state now where our government must realize that to exist in this world, in this society today, you have to be civil. You have to thrive as a striving democratic republic, if you claim to be, you are, and behave as such in the eyes of the world. Now, these are the challenges this new democracy we have is facing. We can't go back to the 1980s. We can't go back to the Doe era, to the war era, to the vicious wickedness we have perpetrated against each other for so many years. We can't go back to those. We're tired with that. Even our souls demand better. And it's coming to fruition. Because all the things that go on in our society right now, the society will kick against it. Because it's not leading to anything good or prosperous or better. No. It's bringing us down to disgrace and degradation and impoverishment. It's bringing us down. And it will come to the point, I was listening to Spoon TV this morning when Ben Savvy asked Nathan Barnes, Ambassador Nathan Barnes, our former ambassador to the United States of America, asked him, where would change come from? The top or the bottom? You can't detect where change will come from. He said, I don't know what Barnes said. Barnes said maybe the top. And that's the answer Savvy will waiting for, the top. No. Nobody dictates where the change will come from. Change can come from anywhere. I'm not from the top. And Barnes later rectified his statement and said that you can't say where change will come from. But most likely it will come from the erudite society, the erudite in our society, which means the learned, the educated. Because you have to have vision, you have to have insight, you have to have a little bit of knowledge to lead. Because if you can have all the blessings from God, if you are not knowledgeable, you can just go to a certain extent. Look at our biblical history. Look at Moses. When Moses went to take the people out of Egypt, he wasn't as knowledgeable as some of the Pharisees and the Sadducees that came to challenge him. All of our biblical people, few of them were knowledgeable. Matthew, Mark, the people that wrote the text of the Bible, these were not people that came out to lead. No, these were erudite people. They were educated people who wrote, who did research, who kept historical records. The leader was Jesus Christ, and the people who were not as educated formally as people like Matthew, Mark, and the people that wrote in the Bible that really explained the life of Jesus to us. But the people that led came from a different era of consciousness, a different era of realizing what we need in this life to move us from one state to the next state. All these things were important to us, just as it was important during Jesus' time. You see, and over the years, things have changed. And we must come to the realization as a society and a people that ignorance, illiteracy, backwardness do not give us the strength and the power we need to move our country from one state to the next state. No, they don't. We must treasure the things that are bright and good and honest. Because just as you have crooks and thugs and wicked people who are uneducated, you can have the same kind of people who are educated and never learn to give love or charity or benefits or sacrifice to anybody else but themselves. We had one of them last year in America. I ain't want to call his name. But he was all about himself and nobody else. So those are the other extreme of the people that strive for greed and wealth and self-aggrandizement, to see yourself grow up in power and wealth over other people. But as patriots, we have a different vision and view of our country and where we want to take our people from today to the next day to the next day. Patriots have different views because it's not about us. It's not about me. When I say us, it's not about patriots, but it's about us. The collective whole, the whole body. What is in our best interest, not in my best interest. Yes, there's a certain time in my life when my best interest is superior, when I'm a minor. Excuse me. When I'm a minor, that's when everything is in my best interest. Look at the law. In our legal system, when it comes to child issues of children, the court looks at what is in the best interest of the child, because the child is not old enough to fend for itself. So it has guardians and parents and relatives that have interest in it. And of all those interests, the court look at what is in the best interest of the child. So when we pass that age of minority, which is childhood, when we get into a majority after 18 years old, we call it majority, the years of majority. You are older now, you are more mature. The years of minority that are under 18, you are a child, you're still an adolescent, you're still growing up. So when we reach our age of maturity, it's no more what's in our best interest alone. No, it can't be that alone. Our interest is always paramount. But when we reach ages of majority and we step forth to lead and guide and direct and inspire people, it cannot be about my interest alone. My interest then is shared with the interest of the whole. That means it's equal share. I can't put my interest above the interest of the people, nor can I put the people's interest totally above my interest. It's shared interest because I'm serving the people. My interest become part of what the people's interest is or are. So you can't separate the two. And I can't take my interest and put it over the people's interest, nor can I submerge nor can I what do you say about it? Subordinate my interest to the point where I will hurt myself serving the interests of the people. And that's where our leaders make the mistake. They fail to create that balance in their leadership, where we're leading the people on one side and we have our own interests on the other side. We also have to know that our interests, when serving the people, we submit to giving oaths and allegiances to what we do. So we submit our spirit to the people, and we have our own interests too. But when we take oaths and raise our hands and say we'll do this and we'll do that for the people in the cause of the people, we have taken that interest that is ours and split it in half and given the people equal half of that interest. That means we cannot take one interest and put it above the other interest, nor can we subordinate our life's interest to the interest of the people. So we have to learn how to weigh our interests. That's what they call it, weighing your interests. You have to weigh your interests. There's a time the people's interest will overshadow your interests, and that is leadership. Because your interest becomes a part and parcel of the people's interests. So it overshadows your interests. But you always have to remember that your interests should not overshadow the people's interests. The people's interest is paramount. Why it shouldn't overpower the people's interest? Because we live in a democracy. When you live in a democracy, you cannot have expectation of your interest overpowering or overseeding the people's interest. No, you will always be let down because you are there to serve the people. And the people's interest is paramount. Like in Liberia, under Turbo problem started when he wanted to make gambling legal in Liberia because his brother, Steve Turbo, who was our finance minister, supported that thing. And the news was in this country that the mob was supporting Steve Turbo's interest in getting the gambling law passed in Liberia to permit gambling in Liberia. So to them on the political side, it was all set up. It was all set up. They were ready to put their interests over the people's interests. But we live in a democracy. Besides our laws, the people make laws too. Besides the laws of our country, the people themselves can overpower the laws of our country. And that is when we call it public policy. And public policy becomes law when the masses of the people's interests overpower the legal interests of a country. Just the gay rights. We know it's against our public policy for men to sleep with men and women to sleep with women. Our laws may permit it. Our laws may grant it, even pass it, say it's legal in the country. But we know that based on public policy, our lawyers can get in the legislature and pass statutory law granting gay rights and all these kind of rights. But the public is against it. Where will they go? All the rights you give them is only permissible if the public lets it happen. The public may not say anything about the law. They may not bother the legislature in passing the law. They pass the law, but the sentiments, the feelings of the public do not support that kind of law. So no matter how you pass it, the public policy will let you know whether the public accept it as a real law or it's just on the books to be on the books. So these are kind of laws that we have to understand, that the government can make laws, but the public policy how the public feels about it, the public opinion, the public standing on certain things matter, and it becomes law as well. So we have to understand all these things. And as Liberians, if we don't understand it, we not understand the deep, deep meaning of patriotism and loyalty and the feelings of the people in the republic, because that's what breeds leadership to our people. It gives them legitimacy to do what they want to do. If the people did not believe in the system that is governing us today, our leaders will not have legitimacy to do what they want. All of us will get up and demand their resignation. Like some of us are calling for George Weah to resign or be impeached. I was listening to one show with Mrs. Yasinekwe and one man called Gilman, acting like he know Liberia so much. Oh, the Senate hasn't passed, for a law or a bill to impeach Weah. The Senate don't have to do that. The Liberian people can call for it before the Senate passes it. If the Liberian people rise up and ask for the resignation or impeachment of George Weah, and we are serious about it and lock Liberia down, a bill will be passed or some action will be taken to ensure that the will of the people overpowers the will of anybody else in our country. So the power in our democracy rests in the hands of the Liberian people. And if we fail to initiate or take power that is ours into our hands and let the rules and criminals and bandits and thugs in our nation rule us like they want to rule us, like they are our rulers and our masters, and they are our dictators, and they will tell us what to do, and we do it without any say in our own lives and livelihood, then we're not in our democracy. Then we have failed ourselves, because dictators only exist if the people permit them to exist. If the people are scared of the guns and things and will be submissive, they'll be submissive. But most dictators only exist if the majority of the people are blind and support them. That's the only time dictatorship exists. But if the majority of the people in the country are people that follow democracy and demands rights that are pertinent to democratic system of governance, then no dictator can exist in that country. No guns, no bombs can deter the will of the people above the dictators. So the will of our country rests in our hands. The will to change our country rests in our hands. We cannot be afraid to protest when we see our leaders are gangsters and rogues and bandits and slum lords and warlords. And it's time to say enough is enough. I listened to Nat Barnes on Spoon TV. Some of the things he said, it made sense. It made sense. When our leaders don't understand their responsibilities, when our leaders are ignorant and still want to rule with their own peers instead of finding competent and qualified people to serve under them and direct the direction of our country and governance, they're not doing it. They're going to get their bodies and they're drinking paths and they're womanizing paths and giving them government jobs. Their tribal relatives and giving government jobs. He stressed even at the port. Now we suspended the port director, Twawali. Who is there to take his place? Is the woman who's taking his place at the port qualified to run the port? She's not. She's not. So here's a government. The president is dumb and ignorant and uneducated and inept, and everybody under him the same way. So our country and national security is at a risk. Ambassador Barnes said it. How do we're at a cliff? How do we pull our country back from falling off the cliff? Some people got to go. Some of the incompetent people got to go. It must start with George Weah. George Weah got to go. I don't know if we can wait until 2023. I don't know if we can wait on the election. By that time, our country will be too violent and backwards. And you don't know what will happen. You don't know what will happen. So all of y'all thinking about next year, the situation in our country is dire and serious. And this George Weah man must be made to leave our government right now. So to Gilmer, them who were attacking Jacinda when she said George Weah must be impeached or removed, and he talking all kind of stupid thing. I stand with Jacinda. When the government is broken down, when the people are on the verge of losing their minds to hunger, to impoverishment and starvation, the president got to go. The government got to go. Somebody else who is competent to pull us back from on the edge of the cliff must come in. Leaders who care about our country must come to the rescue of Liberia and the Liberian people, because the time of the Liberian people is now. I must rest my topic, my class on this matter. I can't talk no more. I've been talking since yesterday. We touched on the St. Alexander Cummings. I mean, our people just backwards, man. What's wrong with our country, man? What's wrong with our leaders then, man? What's wrong with Alex Cummings then? What's wrong with these people, man? You go take a damn criminal like Musa Belede to be your party, man. The man party in a state of disarray. The people fussing among themselves. Somebody said the same thing. You want to join the people instead of trying to bring them together and see how you resolve the issue. You go, you join the splintered party. You join one faction of the splinter party and say you form a new party. How you form a new party when the party you joining is splintered, it's divided, it's not united? What good can you get out of that? That's my only point. I didn't agree with you saying it on this point. You know, she's saying she's trying to back Belete and say it's good. No, it's not good. Belete is a criminal. Belete is a known crook in Liberia. That name does not ring anything good for the Liberian people. And Elliot Cummings is ashamed. It's a disgrace to himself, man. Elliot Cummings is a disgrace, man. He's a disgrace. You can't find nobody else in Liberia to join but a man with that kind of reputation. Then you say you want to lead our country. You make me shame, Elliot Cummings. My people, that's my topic for this matter. Our leaders just making us shame. They're making us shame. The people ruling our country today, they have made us so shame. They have made us shame. Who want to take their place? Nobody want to help George Weah. Who the government failed. The government is a flop. It's a flunky. Who want to come join a flunky government to do what? That is in there with the Toba. That's why my father died. Toba government had failed, and my father was forced to join them by the Liberian people who wanted Liberia to survive. And in the end, my father ended up being killed with all of them. But that's God. We can't change that. We can't change that. But there are certain things we can change today, and that is weak government, that is failed regime, that is criminal regime, thugs, cartel, criminals. I rest my case. I luta, continua. Let me take a break. Oh yes, I need.
I would waste it all for you.
I just love that. I would waste it all for you. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Okay, you know, Council State Representative Anastasia P. Williams of District Number 9, right? Let me get that district right. She's running for re-election, and That's our girl, man. That's one of these real representatives that speak for us, that has a voice, and we can't afford to let her go. So when you go out there to vote, remember Anastasia P. Williams, P is for power, okay? Don't forget that. Okay, now let's get into our celebration of the Flag Day on the Buduburam refugee camp in the Republic of Ghana. Here we go.
As the Flag Day, the principal student of the one camp, and see, those who parade on the camp, the student on the camp. See, different there is a parade day today on the camp. See all the camp, with the Flag Day. You see the student on board here, and see the parade. Yeah, you see different there, the students, the parade on the primary school of the one camp. You see the Flag Day today. See the parade. We get on the side, these on the air, for the view. You see them? You see them? You see the camp? Yeah, you see the parade. Like when I stay on the camp, everybody, we have one more thing this morning. That's the camp view. You see, that's the parade, the camp. That's the camp. You see one of the camera guy. The first day. There's nothing here but here. Still what the camp. Can still the first camp. Yeah, you see, yeah, as we reflect this celebration on the camp, you can see the camp, you see the people, they're staying around the camp, you see, yeah, you see the camp, they stay out there in the camp, you see the viewing, they bring our lady in the camp today, we reflect it, you see the viewing the camp. Everybody's doing anything to the Flag Day, on the people. Wow. It's a Flag Day. Wow, wow. Happy flag day to all of you, huh? Wow, so happy flag day, my parents. Okay, come in, take it away. There's a bigger connection. Yes. So happy this was your people. Now we're on the camp. Thank God, stay around. See everything really fine. Excuse me. was sleeping here.
Well, that just goes to show you that no matter what state people exist in, they will always find time to have fun and entertainment. That's my show for today, ladies and gentlemen. The Tony Commander Glapohkpa Chesson talk show is done, and I'm out. Take heed and govern yourselves accordingly. The time of the Liberian people is now.